So my first tip is, if you are a very scheduled mom, if you have a scheduled toddler, to not worry about schedule and to not stress out about schedule when you're traveling. This was something that was hard for me to do this weekend, only because I am so obsessive about London napping and London's nutrition and all of that stuff. I just know she's a happier person when she gets the right amount of sleep and the right amount of nutrition. But when you're traveling, life is just different. So for you to pressure them into napping and doing all of those things like they do at home, I think that it actually, for the first day, sort of made me crabbier and London crabbier. I just really think that I relaxed a lot more knowing that the schedule was going to be something that I was going to have to pick up on when we got back home. And just letting it like fly out the window was definitely something that helped me enjoy the trip a lot better. 2 has to do with packing. We flew, so flying you're limited on what you can pack, but I advise you to pack more for your toddler and less for you. I did run into a situation where I wish I would have had another outfit, but I mean, if you're visiting family and stuff, they have washing machines and all of that stuff that you could use. But if you really think that you're going to run into an issue, pack a little bit more for you. But for London, more was better for her. She went through a lot more outfits traveling, only because I didn't get to change her like I do at home. So I packed about 4 outfits a day for her, and I did 2 sets of pajamas for each night that we were there, just in case she peed through a pair, or if the hotel room was too cold or the hotel room was too hot. It gave us options to to decide from when it came down to that moment. Being at home, you can make those decisions, but traveling, you're limited on things, so always think about your toddler's comfort over yours. That's my advice. I mean, it is nice to be comfortable on your trip, but I was more relaxed knowing that she was going to be, prepared for anything clothing-wise. My third tip, if you're traveling on an airplane, to pack, snacks for just that trip. Eating through the day definitely got us through. Our flight was delayed an hour and a half, and London actually, kind of ate her way through the delay. And if your child is a snacker, we're going back to the number one thing with like routine, to not stress out about nutrition. If they like candy and it keeps them entertained and it gives them that little boost of energy, give them candy. It's this past weekend we packed Dum Dum suckers. It kept her entertained for a while. Make sure you bring wipes if you're going to give them Dum Dum suckers, especially if they're toddlers, because they get it everywhere. And so the snacks are something that I would definitely pack more of, but the packing of the diapers was something that I just packed what I thought I needed for the day, plus a few more, and I actually purchased diapers when I got to where we were going. Diapers are bulky and they take up a lot of room in your suitcase, so for you to buy them when you get there is definitely something that is very helpful in the packing situation. To pack an empty sippy cup, especially if you're going on an airplane, the stewardesses are really great, well, ours was on Delta, about filling the sippy cup. It was nice for London to have a refreshing beverage on the airplane. They don't have straws or anything on the airplane, so a sippy cup is a big deal if your child still drinks from a sippy cup. The airplane was warm and her cheeks were hot, and so for her to have like a nice cold drink of water was a really, really great thing for her. My next tip, actually I got from one of my cousins who has traveled twice with her toddler. In your carry-on bag, if you're traveling on an airplane, everything should be categorized into plastic freezer bags, like the gallon freezer bags. This was a tremendous help for me. Along with that, your ID and your child's birth certificate, which you most times you need that on an airplane. They need that for identification purposes, only to prove that they are the age that they are, especially if you're traveling with a toddler under the age of 2. You will need that because they'll need proof that they're under 2 so that they can sit on your lap. London, I didn't buy a ticket for London, she just sat on my lap, so I had to have proof that she was under the age of 2, so I had to have her birth certificate. You could put that in a freezer bag, but I actually packed like a little white mailing envelope, and I put her birth certificate, my driver's license that I needed at every stop in the airport, and your check-in tickets and your baggage tickets. I put all of them in there and I set them in the front pocket of the diaper bag, which was my carry-on, was my diaper bag. And it was easy just to take those right out, and you know, you have your arms full and you have your toddler, so to be able to have that white envelope just to pull it out right when you get to the station, it doesn't hold people up behind you, and it just makes everything faster and quicker when everything is right at your fingertips. The freezer gallon bags, seriously the best tip that I ever got from the trip. I had her diapers and wipes in 1 gallon bag, so all I had to do was pull that out, and you can see through them so you know what's in the bag. The other bag I had was her like treats and snacks, and those were so easily accessible. I just grabbed them out whenever she needed something. Especially when you're holding your toddler on an airplane and your carry-on is either above or under, you need to have easy access to things. So the gallon freezer bags were an amazing, amazing thing. Okay, so my 5th tip is that in those freezer bags, make sure that one of the bags, especially if you're going on an airplane or a very long car ride, is to have busy activities in the bag. Stickers are a great idea. My mother-in-law actually packed garage sale stickers, which you can find them at, you know, any grocery store. They also sell them the Up and Up brand at Target. They're like fluorescent, the Up and Up brand. They're really cute. But London, through most of the flight, actually put those on the back of the airplane seat, and they're very easy for them to peel off because they don't have, you know, like the sticker paper around the sticker. It's just free paper, so they can rip them off very easily. And it was easy for her to place them all on the back of the airplane seat, also on her Jaja's face and her mom's face and arms. And when the flight was about ready to end, it was easy just to peel those right off the back of the airplane seat. So that was one of a really great activity that really kept her busy. My 6th tip is to bring an umbrella stroller, especially if you're going to an airport. It is so hard on the child to do all of that walking, especially if you get lost. It's not an airport that you're, you know, you're familiar with. It's just a really good idea for them to be in a stroller. Also, you know, with all of your luggage and everything that you're carrying, you know, if you're with a family member, it's easier for them, you know, to help you out that way, instead of having to carry them through the airport. It's also something that you can take free on the airplane. They don't check it, they don't charge you for it. So all you have to do is they put a little, you know, fluorescent tag on it. I do suggest labeling it in case it gets lost, but they actually just put it in the stowaway right when you know, walk onto the airplane. You hand them the stroller, and it's safe in the airplane through the whole flight, and you just get it right when you get off the airplane. They come out and they have like your stuff sitting out, and you just grab your stroller and go. It was great for her to have while we were waiting in the security line and everything. I highly recommend having an umbrella stroller through the airport. My 7th tip is to, when you have time to let your child run and walk, let them do that. I know that I'm kind of going against what I just said about the stroller ride, but the stroller's for if you're, in a hurry to get to your next place in the airport. When we had our overlay, that's not what it's called, our delay for our flight, it was really nice for London to be able to get up and run around. Make sure that you have comfortable shoes on, obviously, too, because you're going to be doing the walking with them. But it was nice, the moving sidewalks for her to just get on, and she rode those a couple times back and forth. There was one like right in front of our terminal, so it was perfect for her to just get on, and then we got on the other one that went the other way, and it just got her energy out so that when we actually got on the flight, it was easy for her to just sit there with me, and she didn't have to do, she had her energy out, so sitting wasn't such a huge deal. My 8th tip is if you are traveling without your partner or alone without relatives, to rent a luggage carrier. I think they're $5 in the airport, but we actually found one sitting out on the way on our flight back home when we had landed in Detroit, and Detroit's airport is enormously big. And someone must have just like left theirs there, and they didn't, you're supposed to like lock them back in and pay for it and stuff. But I think an angel put it there for us because it was a lifesaver. Just because my suitcase with the Graco on top of it, there was just a lot to carry after we actually got our baggage. So for us to put all of that on there and just push it was just a really, really great thing. I highly recommend a baggage carrier. They have them at most spots throughout the airport. You'll see them, they're all like hooked up, and they have like a little, I think you can actually use debit cards to rent them. So that is like, that was a really, really big help. And we actually, were wishing that we had rented one on the first flight, because it just really made a very huge difference. My 9th tip is to wear easy on and off shoes. I recommend this for both parents. Usually through security, when you have a child, they will have you go through the pre-check, and if they ask you to take your shoes off, it just moves things along a lot faster. Especially, I noticed a lot of people with kids, their kids have stuff, you have stuff, and your stuff is going through the belt, and you're still, rustling around with your shoes trying to get it off, and it just holds things up when you have to tie and untie your shoes. I'm not a big Croc wearer, but I noticed a lot of families in the airport with Crocs on, and I just really think that was a genius idea. They're so easy to put on and off, and they're just so easy to just throw in, that little bucket that goes through the belt. I wore flip-flops, and I actually ended up with blisters, so I suggest wearing shoes that are broken in, because we did a lot of walking and I came home with bloody nubs for feet. But anyway, when you're going through security, they usually have a parent in the front and a parent in the back, and they usually, if you have a toddler, they have you hold them sometimes. I know a lot of security places are different, and most airports are different only because the security is higher at some other than other places. So I definitely am going to wear Crocs on my next trip, and also for London to wear Crocs. I just think it was a genius idea. Whoever thought of that? So easy on and off shoes is my tip, my number 9. My 10th and final tip is to relax. Don't stress out about the small things. In our Detroit airport, I will admit, there is a lot of angry people in there. There's people going on, business trips and leaving their families behind, and they're not excited about traveling, and they can tend to be a little bit more impatient and a little bit meaner. Ask questions. There are people usually standing all over in the airport to answer your questions. If you don't know where you're going, ask. That's what those people's job is for. And if they're mean to you, who cares? You're the one that has to get moving on, and you're never going to see them again, so ask them the question, bug them. That's what they're there for. And just relax and be happy, because it really affects your child if you're not happy, and it affects the entire, day, the entire trip, if you're not joyful and if you're not calm. So I really, really recommend just staying calm and staying patient, and just make it easier on yourself. Follow my tips. I really had a really great first flight with a toddler. I just could not have asked for her to behave any better, and I do really think that it was because I tried to be relaxed. In fact, one of the moms, one of the ladies sitting behind us, she said that I made it look easy. And that made me feel really good, because on the inside I was stressing out, but I must have been on the outside showing it that I was calm, which I think helped London be calm. Your child does not know what's going on if they are a toddler. They don't know to be scared of the sky. They don't know to be scared of airplanes. So if you act timid and if you act scared and tense, that's going to rub off on your child. If you're happy and joyful and confident and have faith that everything is going to be okay, your child feeds off of that, and they're going to have an amazing first flight. Also, if your child is a first-time flyer, make sure you ask for their wings. The stewardesses have them in little bags in the front, and it's just an amazing keepsake to have for the rest of their life. I'm actually going to frame London's tickets and put her little wings in there. So I hope my tips helped you. I hope that you have an amazing flight with your toddler and enjoy the memories that you're making on your trips. I know I will for a lifetime. London was just an amazing person to travel with. Thank everybody around you, because their jobs are hard. I could not imagine working in an airport. So just enjoy your trip and take a lot of pictures and a lot of videos, and have safe travels. Thank you. Bye, guys.